Right. I wanted to ask about how you deal with background noise, because we've had some Zoom meetings and the one person is in their kitchen, and I think there's ways you can reduce the noise, but is that from their end or can you do it as the person running the Zoom?
Right, if you go to, see the little arrows? If you click on that, there's all sorts of stuff that you can do in the meeting. Now this takes you to audio settings, and it just takes you back to this settings bar,
Yeah.
that we had before. So that was the general, that was the audio. What you can now do is ask them is to automatically adjust microphone level.
Yeah.
So that will take away, because if I'm speaking at the same level, and if I change it, it will also go there. Now, if I do,
So they would need to go in and do that themselves, would
that's
they?
from their sound. So if you see
Right.
going quieter, you should
Okay.
hear me.
Yeah.
If I carry on up to where it is, yeah, then there's that.
Okay.
There's also other things you can do is suppress background noise. Auto. Now I've got it set to low, which is faint background noises. That's because we have the luxury of sitting in a nice study. I call it my office. So there's me or there's my wife Debs, and generally there's not a lot of noise. But if you want to, you can actually kick that up. And
You've got quite quiet now, Colin.
Yeah, that's the downside of it. What it's doing is trying to compensate for that noise, so it will be doing a little bit of jiggery pokery. So there is a trade-off on it. Other things they might try to do is invest in one of these. These are quite cheap these days. I must admit, if you're slightly hard of hearing as I am and getting worse, I find it a lot easier to use like this. I must get my ears sorted out. That's number one of my jokes. But I find having these in, everybody's at the same level. So I quite like video meetings just for that. I'm doing less of that sort of thing. But if you've got then having a microphone, you can sort of there. And what you can do, of course, is you can see speaker, same as system, microphone. I'm obviously telling it to use this microphone. As you can see down here, you've got a little thing, and that tells you what speakers you want to use. So I'm saying speakers use this. Yeah, so you can see there's various options. If I want to play music to myself, I click on that one. So those are some of the things you can do to help with muting. But I suppose the problem is your computer's trying to do the two jobs at once. You're trying to filter out the background noise, but it's got to hear you, etc. I don't know. The other alternative is give them a bottle of brandy. Who's ever making the noise? Keep them quiet. That kind of thing. So yeah, but there is that little switch. You can try that and see if that does. Although, as I say, they might have to speak up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Ask them to do that.
Could you turn yourself back up, Colin, because you've gone very quiet?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Put it on auto. So is that okay? I'm back to how it was.
It's still quiet.
Right. Okay. Make sure like that. How about that?
Yeah, that's better.
I mean, one of the things that goes wrong with these things is there's lots of little switches, and sometimes you just forget, and it's nothing to get too wound up about it. You just remember them more and more and more as you go on. So that one, it's automatically adjusts the microphone volume, as you can see, and that does it quite well. Take it from there. Next, sorry, is that help, Susie? Are you okay with that?
Yes, thank you. Thanks.
Hello, everybody. Sorry I was late, everybody. I don't know what happened with my link. That's not
no problem whatsoever.
Spend all day doing it, won't we? I've got perhaps ones that might come up another time. To be quite honest, I'm not sure everybody else to do this today, so I'm just putting it out there. I've been supporting somebody in her 80s who's got to grips with Zoom, and it's brilliant. It's been coaching her. I'm no expert myself, but it's been like pulling teeth, to be honest. So she managed to share screens, but when she's the host, she doesn't know what she's doing a lot of the time. However, she's grasped that now. But what we'd like to do is to actually both be able to, whether we're host or not, share the screen when we want to, so we can actually work on a document together like a PowerPoint. That's a bit advanced today, is it really?
Not really, not really. We can have a look at that. The way probably
the participants as well, you know, not that I want people to mess up with my PowerPoint if I'm doing one, because there'll be all sorts of crazy bits put in there probably, won't there? But any document really, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what you've got to do is make sure that on your settings as the host, right? So I'm not the host of this meeting, but Julie will have a settings panel, and what she will have, have you got yours up, Julie? What it will have is a bunch of tick boxes, allowing people what you can and can't do. So it will be allowing people to mute themselves, allowing people to unmute themselves, allowing people to screen share. It presents some sort of control over it. Now, personally, I've not bothered. So if you're on mine, you can see what I've got here. So full screen mode, maximize window, scale to fit, show my Zoom windows to other participants when I'm sharing. Side by side mode, you can do all sorts of different things with it, share individual windows, etc. But on the if I click on the advanced, there's a few extra things. Limit your screen to 10 frames per second. That means it's normally human eye operates about 24 frames per second. That's what your little cinema was, because it's less jerky. But because it is generally something not as important or generally not moving, you don't need the 24 frames per second. So you can knock it down to that. That's the reason that is there, is because if it's doing less work, it's taking less computing power. So the more computing power you have, it's easier. And of course, the more things that you've got going on in your computer at the same time, they're all taking computing power. So generally, I try and close as many things as possible I can down, so the computer's not having to do a thing. And that's where you might get the time lags or the freezing or all that kind of thing. So so Julie will have a bunch of things on the main audio. Let me see if I can have it. If I go to profile, edit my profile. Now, if you do that, it takes you to the web-based part of Zoom. Now, the web-based part of Zoom, let me drag that over there so you can see it. You can sign in. So I go Colin Walsall.
Do you mean to make you host,
go
Colin?
on, man. But you can see all sorts of things. This is one thing I thought maybe we'd go into. But remember, if you've got the Zoom downloaded onto your computer, it's what they call client software. So it's got a bunch of stuff and you can do lots of stuff with it. Yeah. But if you want to go delve a little bit deeper, you go onto your web-based and you can fiddle with more stuff here. So profile, that's just me, etc. That's where I could upload a picture if I wanted to. Handsome chap. But if you go to the meetings, you can see there's all sorts of things you can change in terms of previous personal meeting templates, upcoming meetings, Wednesday, 16th of June. So that's next week. I've got somebody. Settings, there's a long list. So you got meetings. So you can look through and do all sorts of stuff. So here, we're having a waiting room. Do you want people to be able to sit in a waiting room? Yeah, that means you've got to admit them when they arrive. If you don't want to and people just turn up, take that switch off. Yeah. Meeting password. Right. Meeting require a passcode for meetings that have already been scheduled. Now, I don't want people to have to do a passcode because it's just tedious. But if you wanted to make sure it was that little bit extra secure so people couldn't come up, that's when you go, ooh, I'll take that. Yeah, that says it's locked. Passcode for meeting, and you can see my schedule meetings is there. If I wanted to, change it, I could. Personal meetings, embed passcode. So it sort of goes through your security, which is, as I say, the stuff I wanted to talk about a little bit. about your passcodes and things like that. Only authenticated users can join from a web client. So really, it means that you've got to have Zoom installed, not from a web, because what you can do with Zoom is, if you haven't got Zoom installed, you just click on the link and it will open up your browser for you. And that's good because some people aren't really good with downloading stuff on, but if you want onto their computer. So schedule meetings, host video, participants video, start meetings with participant video on, participants can change this in the meeting, audio type, allow participants to join before host. So participants can join 10 minutes before start, fairly standard, there's always some eager beavers. So you can see all the sort of stuff that you can write. Some of it you just think, I don't know, I'll just leave it. Encryption for third-party endpoints. I've no idea what that means, so I've just not touched it. Private chat. Allow meetings to send one-to-one private messages to all the other participants. I let that personally, but if you don't want people to sort of have private messages like passing notes in class, that's the thing that you click, so people could send chat to everybody. But you know, it means that Janet can't be sending a chat message to Susie saying, "My God, isn't he boring?" for example. So there's lots of things you can do if you just go on, if you log into your account on the web-based thing.
Sorry, Colin. Obviously, Julie had just given you the host, hadn't she?
Yeah.
So it's that I want to do. For if I was the host and Julie was the host, just how did she make you the host? You said to go into settings.
Oh right, okay.
Because then the person like Julie and yourself in the example here, forget me, my colleague, Julie could allegedly give you the host, and you know, at some point you could pull up stuff on your computer, such as a document, and we can look at that document from your laptop or your computer. Alternatively, if Julie was the host, she could show a document from her computer. So that's what I wanted to be able to do in the middle of a Zoom, really. But also, because I've been the host mainly, I've been the one actually amending the document as I've been working together. But
Right.
realistically, this other person could have actually put something in at the same time.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, one way to do it is you can.
I'll just go down to the participants, Colin.
Yeah.
I did it for you.
Yeah.
So you go down to the participants, you get everybody's name up.
Yeah. Can you see
And if
that?
you go, sorry, go on, Colin.
You know, you scroll. It's the usual thing. Scroll. So you've got some buttons: ask to unmute, more, stop video, spotlight for everybody, make host.
Ah, yeah.
So that's just how you click. Amount multi-pin, not sure. Yeah. Rename, put in waiting room, remove, report, etc.
Yeah.
So that's in the participants again,
That's
which is
I have
something.
done that once. It was by fluke, I think, really.
Yeah.
But then, could we actually work on the same document together?
Right. Let me just see.
Sorry, people. I don't want to take over here. You know, I don't want you to actually get involved in something that you're not prepared for yourselves.
No. The beauty of this is I am working on it. I love this. This is fun. So
it's quite small, that is, as well. So I'm guessing where you're at in the settings.
which is quite small.
The whole on my screen at the moment, because you're sharing your screen, I've got all our faces on the one side, which is great. Hello.
Yeah.
But on in the other part, I've actually got probably I'm sharing your screen in terms of what you're doing with your.
That's it. Yeah.
But it's very small.
Yeah. I mean, this is where I personally I've got two screens, which I think is where it comes really useful. But you can, if you wanted to, make it smaller. So
Bigger really, so I can see what you're doing.
Now, okay, let me just.
It's your end. I think you've got to make your slide or your information bigger, because I can't do that. It's your screen I'm looking at.
Well, the screen you're looking at here,
yeah,
Magdalene, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's on a 15-inch screen.
Well, it's about that big on my screen.
It depends on how you do it. If you go and take, let me just see, right. If you, these things, cancel.
Have you got your chat box open, Janet?
Yeah.
Close your chat
If
box.
you close that, that makes it slightly bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, it was closed.
Right, just click on the chat again, the icon.
Yeah.
So like you go chat, chat. Yeah. Now you can change your view. If you go up to the top there, you can see view.
Yeah.
Click on that. And this is for everybody. You can see speaker view. So that just puts what's one on there. That might give you a little bit more room. Nope. Okay.
I think what I've noticed is when, you know, because I don't know if people are aware of this here, it's not fair. It's like talking blooming different language, isn't it? Which it is.
Yeah.
When I've actually shared my screen with people, like a PowerPoint, it's come out on their screen quite small and our faces are in the way. So I've said, I'll try and make it big. You know, you can zoom and make things big, but it's gone stupid, really. So we've learned to live really with what we've got on the screen. For me, if somebody's viewing a document, like I'm viewing your desktop now, it is so small. You could be talking about something. I'm guessing where you are with your cursor, really. It's quite small. And other people have got that experience their side.
If you go up to, right?
Yeah.
This is your bar. Can you see this? Mine up the top.
I can see yours, yeah.
Right. Now you should have one of those.
I've got the shared screen, view options, speaker, exit.
Yeah. Click on the view options.
Yeah.
What have you got?
I've got a zoom ratio, request remote control, annotate, exit full screen, side by side.
Increase the zoom option, zoom ratio.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
And it should blow it up for you.
To fit window, 100% or 50%?
Try it.
Smaller.
See, think about it. Fit window means take the entire document and squeeze it. So if you're going to go 200%, right, it will blow it up twice, and then you can manipulate it. So your screen sharing, new share participants, security, stop video. Yeah.
So the difficulty with that then is you've only got part of what your screen really.
It is like but you can actually move it. Can you see you can move the document around?
Yeah, I can go to hand. So
that can be a way around it. I mean, the reality is what you need to do is like I'm looking at here. Which you should be able to see is I
can see all of us now quite large, not our faces, our names and the participants.
Also, if you take your mouse pointer, I can't show you because it's not set up that way for me, and take it towards the edge of one of the windows, like where the gallery view is, it should come up with something like that, and you should be able to drag it. It might give you more room.
Okay. Yeah.
Try that.
Drag, yeah.
Can you see it? That'll give you. It'll if you take it all the way, it'll stop after a while. So the downside is you won't be able to see everybody all at the same time, but you will be able to at least have a better view at the video. As I say, the most ideal way is get yourself a second screen if you want to plug it in. But obviously,
I always wondered why people wanted two screens. I know you can see the things.
It is really. I mean, I find it useful because I can keep stuff. You can't notice, but I've flirted you back over here, so I can keep stuff on here, and I use the main one as my bigger one, is my main one over here, and that's just to help me. Because my eyesight, so I've got a bigger screen, but it means I can keep my eye on two things at the same time. So, for example, on my laptop one, which is the secondary screen, I keep my Outlook open and things like that, so that I can keep an eye on that. And I tend to work on my side screen. Okay.
I don't want to hog the show, people.
No. This is the sort of format I was hoping for. I've prepared some stuff which I can show people, but if they've got burning questions, that's what I want. So
I've got one more. I'll let somebody else speak.
All right. Anybody else? No. If anybody else has got anything they want to fiddle with.
I just wanted to ask Colin, if you were teaching, which I do, students, and if I wanted to say I'm giving them a PowerPoint, and then I perhaps want to show them a formula or something, and write on a screen or something, is it possible to do through like a whiteboard that you can write on?
Right, I'll stop the share. because let me just drag you over here so you can see what I'm doing on my screen. Right. So if I share screen, press share screen, and you'll see something that says, what have you got? I know it's got screen 1, screen 2 for me.
There is a whiteboard. Yeah.
Click on whiteboard.
Uh-huh.
Click on share, and you've got a whiteboard.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've got a whiteboard. So how do I write on there then?
Right. Here you've got a menu at the top.
It says select text, draw.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So if I want to put text in, click on
Okay.
text.
Text, yeah.
Click on Colin is folk.
Okay, so I can, all right.
Yeah. Now, if I want to do a stamp, which is basically a pretty colour, like that. Now, does anybody else want to put anything on my whiteboard? Everybody, do you want to have a go?
So when I'm sharing a screen, then I can get to a whiteboard and go into the menu, and I can, okay, so I can write there.
Yeah.
And can you draw graphs or something? No?
It will let you do a certain amount. So it will let you do, so you can see, it can let you do draw. So for example, color one there like that. If I set a different color first, let's go green. I could do an arrow, something like that. Eraser.
I can't see anything on the whiteboard that you're doing.
Right, because have you got your whiteboard on?
Yeah.
Right, turn your whiteboard off.
So how do I do that? Stop share.
Stop share, yeah.
Okay.
So what you can see now is you can see mine, clear all drawings, clear my drawings, etc. You can save it as a PDF or a PNG, which is a drawing thing, a drawing format, very useful to if you are having stuff on screens, computer screens.
Which is a better resolution, PDF or PNG?
I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest.
Because
PNG, I suspect.
Okay.
So Spotlight, that means like you end up with like a little laser pointer if you were doing that. Now you can, obviously, if you wanted to, you can save these things and load them later. So that's something you could do. You could select, click on there, click clear or delete, etc.
What's a stamp for? What's that?
Stamp, this is now you should be able to write on this. So if everybody goes up on their menu, click on a color, yellow, click on a stamp. Ooh, that.
I can't actually see the menu bar, Colin, because it's got a green thing saying you are viewing Colin's screen, so I can't see the options.
If you go on more,
yeah,
have a look and see if it says we're looking for. Mine says hide meeting. I
can't actually see more.
All right, it's the it's because you probably got the 3 dots.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I just can't see anything because it's over the top.
No, it depends on your vision. It's like everything else. You can move things about on these, but you can, view options at the very top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on that one.
Request remote control, zoom ratio. You've got that. Shared screens. We got the 2 people who are there. Stop participant sharing, etc. So if I went to there, it would show that one. You are now viewing Abdul Gatrad's screen. If I went to, that's gone. So what I'm looking for is the one where it goes, because what you're looking for is this. Yeah, you're looking for this. This will come up if you're on the whiteboard. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So you're looking for something that'll say, I mean, disable annotation for others. That's if you didn't want anybody to hide names of annotators, hide fleeting motor controls. I've done that.
Colin, could you just explain what annotation is, please?
Annotation. Annotation is just
when would I use it?
if you just annotation just means notes, making notes. So say we had a position where you had like you said, what's it? So you had a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
So if I was going to do a PowerPoint presentation and you open up that PowerPoint presentation,
yeah,
and then you annotate, it would be something like, oh, can we put these on? So we're viewing one, Julie's put one up, yeah? View option, annotate. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That will bring up your little.
Right.
Yeah, and that's when I can go, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
So
Does
it might
that mean
be.
you can add things.
So
then?
you might be, you might have prepared something with like, okay, we'll do text, yeah. So it'd be like, okay, how well do you rate this session? So I'm saying, right, if you want to, you can annotate that screen. Now, what Maureen's done is she's created her own screen. Yeah. And she's sharing that. So I can, if I want to, put some text on Maureen's screen. And she stopped before I complete it.
Oh, it's still there.
It's still there. But yeah, so view options, I want the annotate bar on. So yeah, if people want to go on time, if you get the annotate bar, click on one of the screens, one of the whiteboards, you will be able to, rate me. There you go, Susie's. See, that's how it's done. So you might want to do like have use that as a session. You could use it as any other whiteboard. Would you want it to do? So make notes. People could put comments on. As I say, you can do with the annotate thing. You've got all sorts of stuff. You can save it, and that'll save a record of it. If you save it as a PDF, for example, you could send it out to people after the meeting. Yeah. So if I go saved as PNG. Yeah, show in folder. Now what it normally does is it will create a desk folder on your desktop. Or yeah, so you can see there it's created on my desktop, a folder with the date and stuff on with your Zoom. It does this by default. So if you save a recording, audio or video, it will slap every document into that folder, which you can then do what you want with. Okay.
Thank you.
So you could all save your own copy of it. But as I say, if I was doing it, I'd save it. And then at the end of the meeting, I could say, right, here's the rough draft. I will tidy it up later, etc., etc. So that's when you're using Annotate. I mean, there are other programs that you can use with Zoom to do this. That's a really cheap and cheerful one. So obviously that's, got some really great advantages on it. I always think if you're going to use these things, excuse me, I'm going to have to top my tea up. I'm talking a lot. I always think that start off on the easier stuff and then build yourself up. That's generally the way I do it personally. Most of this stuff that I do is generally self-taught. It is just being not afraid to go, what does that icon do? Let's hover over it, see what it says. Hopefully it'll be in plain enough language that you'll be go, oh, you know, some stuff, it might be too technical, in which case I just think I'll either read it up on it or I'll just leave it well alone. Yeah. It's just, but by and large, if you generally don't know enough to break anything. If there is a problem, it's generally you've gone, damn, that little switch I ticked earlier to see something, I should have already set it back. Sorry, Janet, you were saying.
I don't want to repeat anything. How did Maureen share her screen with us at the same time as you? Because that's what I want to do with my colleague.
Sorry?
How did Maureen get into your screen? I can see Maureen's whiteboard.
Because on the settings that are for my meetings, I let anybody share at the same time.
Okay.
So if you wanted to share your screen, Susie wanted to do hers, they both come up. Obviously,
I can share my screen with you now then, because you or Julie's the host.
Have a practice.
Should I go into share screen?
You share your screen. We'll see whatever's, and have a look and see what you can do with it. So
it's not censored, by the way.
No.
So if I just do that, can you see my screen now?
I can see scheduling made easy, make it fast, make it easy, add Zoom meetings to your calendar events and schedule meetings with just a few
that's
clicks.
me.
Yeah, and it is that easy.
Okay, and I can stop you, can't I, by going back into...
If you go up to view options, and you can, well, just go click on and stop sharing your screen. That'll take it off.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, I mean, what you can do is, if you use Google Documents, you can share. Do you use Google Docs? Bring up your Google Docs. I mean, that was what I was going to do.
Could you tell us a bit more about that, Colin? Google Docs, what is it?
Google Docs is, if you've got access, if you've got a Google account.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got you can see here, this is my Google Drive. Yeah. And I simply signed up for one for colinw@onewalsall.org. Now it's useful because it sticks these documents on a cloud, as they say. So it's not sitting on my server. It's not sitting on my computer. It's sitting on somebody else's server, goodness knows where. It could be in various locations all over the world. Yeah. But the idea is I can then access these things from anywhere. What I can do is if I can pick something which is fairly neutral. Okay, Catalyst, this is something I did. Catalyst 2020.
So why would you want to do a Google Doc rather than just save it as a Word document?
Right, so if I share my screen, so this is my Google Docs. Yeah.
Can't
so if
see
I
anything.
go, yeah.
It's not come up, Colin.
Oh, right.
Nothing's come up.
Sorry, there you are. That's me being too. I hadn't pressed the actual button that said share. So this is my Google Docs. See, that's the problem. You get a bit too quick. You know, it's one of those things. Slow down. Make sure you tick everything. So I can open, I don't know, copy of lesson plan 3. Yeah. Edit, you can do all of those things. Paste, blah, 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 file. Download history, blah, 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 insert, format, add-ons, etc. It means that we can all see this at the same time. What I can also do is give you permission to be able to edit this. So instead of having to email back and forth a document, yeah, Abdul, look, I've made changes. It's now saved under what's and what's. You make changes to it, I make changes to it, the document can progress. You know, we'd agree beforehand. Do we want to make several copies of this thing? Fine. If you don't, just go on it. But the advantage of it is, you know, you can actually see what we're doing at the same time. We can edit it. I can sort of type into it as you go along. It will automatically save. Can you see all this? Yeah. It's got the basics. It's a really good basic word processor. So for this, you just, as I say, you've got a Google document, a Google account. The
So
actual,
if you've got a Google account, how do
Yeah.
you set this up then, a Google document? So what is the actual, I mean, I've got a, mine is, say, for example, Professor Gatter at googlemail.com.
right, if you,
So
okay,
that's- yeah.
okay, right, if we go Catalyst. So for example, you're in Drive, yeah? Have a look at this here, Google Apps. Click
Okay.
on it. It will
Yeah.
take me to Google Mail, take you to Google Maps, take you to Google Drive, where we are now, yeah?
Sorry, you've got the wrong number.
Google Docs, click on that. Yeah. Have a look at the menu, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Settings, Drive, Owned by Me. You can have folders, so you can arrange them how they want to. And then if you go down to the plus button, create a new document. Untitled document. Okay. Now, bear in mind, it's having to go lots and lots of ways, so it can be a little bit sluggish. It probably, for example, you'll notice it'd be more sluggish in the evening when America wakes up and they start taking up the bandwidth. As I'm quite sure the Chinese get annoyed by us because, you know, they've gone to sleep, so we don't, you know, it's just the way the geography's split up. This is a demonstration of Google.
Colin, if people haven't got access to Google Docs and didn't feel confident, or, you know, Chinese or the Americans were just definitely in the ether out there, and there's no room for us, me and you and anybody else. So we could essentially do this in terms of our own computer though with each other, couldn't we? We haven't got to go into Google Docs.
Yeah, haven't got a Google Docs. I can show you, for example, if I just close that down, like my work in progress, find, there we are, that's fairly neutral. Security, so this is sitting on our server. You can see this document, IT security, something I was going to put out on the newsletter. And you can see it opening up. And there we go. So this talks about IT security, do's and don'ts, fairly straightforward, for example. But again, I could work on it. So Janet says, can we mention?
I could work on that as well, couldn't I, if you'd give me access?
I suspect there's probably a way around, way to do it, yeah.
Because I'd like to, that's the question I had, because I'd put up the PowerPoint and I want my colleague to help me with it, you know, along the way. So this is literally what I want, the question I was actually asking.
Right. Can you do it that way? How do you do that way? Let's see, more.
I won't mess with your document, don't worry, Colin.
No, I'm trying to think.
I might put all sorts of things on there.
Yeah, I'll
It's
check.
the S drive, isn't it, Colin? So I don't know whether you'll be able to.
It's because it's saved at the same time. I think you can, there is a setting, probably, I suspect there is a way of setting it up on your word processor so that you can work on it at the same time. But I'll have to check what that setting is.
Just let me put a stamp on, Colin.
Oh,
right. Yes. No, that's fine. That's not on the document. That's sitting over the top of the document.
Ah, right.
But
okay.
what you could do is, right, for example, okay, what do you think of this? Blah, 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 blah. If I went up and go, where is it? Where's the annotation board? Oh. If I went to save it as a PNG, it would save this for me, but with all the comments on, so I could work into them later.
can I write on this now? Because I obviously.
Yeah, no, it's on it. Don't worry about it. As I say, it's sitting there like that. So, you know, if I took the picture of it.
To write on your document now, as Susie put her stamp on, have I got to go into my shared screen and just, how do I put my stamp on? How did you do that, Susie?
I went up to more. No, sorry. Where's it gone, the view bit?
Bear in
Sorry,
mind,
I've lost what I did.
all right, if you stop sharing, Janet,
Oh, I think I did.
that's what happens is that you can see that if you go annotate,
That's it, yeah.
click on the annotate, it brings your bar up. So if I go save PDF, it's now saved that as a PDF.
So to actually do the stamp or to write on this document, I've got to go into share screen. Have I?
No, you haven't. No,
yeah.
No.
just take your mouse pointer
Yeah.
over to the bit which are your screen sharing.
You are viewing Colin over there.
That's it.
Yeah. View
Now,
options.
Have you got the annotate toolbar, that one? I'm flicking over.
No,
Right. See where it says annotate, the pencil?
I haven't got that bar at all.
If you click on view options, it'll
options,
bring
yeah.
it up.
Yeah.
Then click on annotate.
All I've got is view options, and I've got zoom ratio again. I haven't got anything else.
Now, okay, it might be that you have might have enough room, but it should be there.
No, I'm just going in. I'm sorry, folks. All I've got view options. And I've got the zoom ratio to make the screen bigger. Should I make it smaller fit window and see if I can find anything else?
Yeah, try that.
So I'm looking for a toolbar, really, aren't I? Which I've got participants, chat, screen share, record, reactions. I've got.
No, you're looking. Yeah. That's you're looking on your main screen. Yeah.
I think I've got to go into share screen and then try and find it.
No. What you're
No.
looking for is you've got share screen. That's sharing your screen,
Yeah.
not my screen. So you've got this bit, which is the main control. Yeah. That usually sits on mine over on the other computer.
Got that, yeah.
It's directly under the mic. That's why when you see me that, I'm looking at the other screen. So you should also have here this thing. You should have this.
Yeah, I've got mute, stop video, participants, chat, share screen, record, reactions, and that's all I've got.
No, right, okay. What we should do is,
So I'm missing some icons really on my Zoom, aren't I?
yes, you should have. Oh, hang on, let me get rid of that. Let me just, I'll go back. Okay, I'll start again. So you go share screen, advanced sharing options. Right, I'll do that. One person can share at a time, so that won't let you get into that. Advanced sharing options. Okay. So I share screen. Ooh. That comes up. That select screen 2. Share.
I've got. Okay.
It should come up when you. It should come up. You should have this box. They should have this.
It's interesting. I haven't got security either. I haven't got pause. Nothing.
Well, pause you won't have because you're not sharing. Yeah. So there's going to be some differences in it. Participants, you can invite things. Security, that's me because I'm hosting the meeting. I will have, but you won't. Okay. So those are the sort of things you can do with the security. Yeah. Hello, share screen. Blah 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 blah.
But I can't write on your screen at all. I don't know how to get there.
It should be fairly simple. What it should do is when you click on the screen.
I'll click on your screen now.
Yeah.
I'm just using the keyboard. I'm putting my name in, Janet Lilly.
Right. You should. What you need to do is have the annotate.
Can
somebody else try putting stuff on?
I haven't got annotate. That's your annotate. I can see.
I've turned my video off for some reason. Can somebody else try annotating it for me, please?
I haven't even got the annotate button.
Colin, what do you want me to do? I can see annotate,
Yeah, click on it.
Yeah.
You get the annotate screen bar. You get this, yeah.
Yeah. I've got
Can
that.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done it. Some people are putting it on there. So for some reason, you're not getting it. I don't know exactly sure why, because you should have this. We've all got this or some
Yeah.
form of it. It'll have the basics on: mute, stop video, etc. It won't have certain things on it because those are restricted to the host, but it should have the annotate button, which means takes your menu away and puts it on. Hide floating meeting controls. Right. Okay. If I have,
I should have to find that myself, really, because I really haven't got the annotate button at all anywhere.
right, take your mouse pointer over my screen, click on it so you're in that section, then press escape.
Scheduling made easy.
Does it come up?
Nope. Don't worry.
Okay, we'll have a fiddle with that. Anything else? Anybody else?
Essentially, the people have been able to access your screen, and I can't do that for some reason.
Oh, yeah. We'll try it with a one-to-one if you want. Set up a one-to-one to have a fiddle with it later if you like, because otherwise we could end up banging our heads.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that to people.
Too much, but yeah, when if we set up something after, we can share your screen. I can see what's happening. We'll work through it that way.
Thank you.
Okay.
Colin, just clarification. Colin, sorry. When would you use stamp? I mean,
I would use it personally as a quick voting tool.
A quick what? Sorry.
Voting tool. So say I had, I don't know, 5 options. Yeah, A, B, C, D. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, okay, can people put a quick stamp onto their preference?
Okay, so
and then you save it, and you've got a preference. Then you've got a record of it.
Okay.
It's just something cheap and cheerful, a way of doing it.
So it's a way of answering questions, perhaps even.
Yeah.
In a say if you were doing a feedback or something.
Yeah.
So you could sort of say A, B, C, D, E, and you could put A, I could put B, or whatever. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Anything you want. Yeah. Just think of the ways you could do it. Okay. We are all right with that.
I've just got one more question.
Yep.
Is share screen the way that you would share a video?
Yep.
So if you wanted to share a TED talk or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
What you do is when you share your screen, you will see the options come up, won't you? Let me get rid of this. Stop share. And what the options are, don't save, are various bits and pieces. So it will say, in mine, it says, do you want to share screen 1? Yeah. Do you want to share screen 2? That means whatever's on that screen, it will show. But if I've got a document open, one document, like that particular thing, I can be able to share just that document. Yeah, so no matter what I do on the computer on that screen, it will just show that document. By document, obviously, I mean anything that's open. So it could be a spreadsheet, it could be a PowerPoint presentation, it could be the window where you've got open a TED Talk using your browser, for example. Okay, it's just setting that document up first, ideally, so you're not looking at it while it's done. So get all that sort of stuff lined up before you do your presentation. So then you can go, share, and it's there, ready on the app. It'll be ready on the menu with it. And that's the same thing as it does, because it will also have the whiteboard, but it will have everything that's open. So for example, with mine, if I go share screen, it goes everything I've got open at the moment. So it goes screen 1, screen 2, whiteboard. Then I could share it's got a window open with my Explorer. It's got a window open it's got the file, my internet browser, and it's also got the Outlook. In fact, share screen 1, screen 2, you can see it will have anything that's there, anything you got open, you'll be able to share it just as that, if I wanted to. So have all those things set up at the same beforehand, and then when you go in and go, da, 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 let's share that. Okay. Anything else? Hope this has been good stuff. Are we okay on, do you all know how to schedule meetings? Do you want to go through that? Set up meeting?
The colleague of mine scheduled meetings and she got really in a bad state on one occasion and she tried to cancel it while she was trying to schedule it. She couldn't do it and she just then got in a big flap and I said, never mind. We'll do it in another half an hour's time or 20 minutes time.
Oh, yeah.
She couldn't cancel it.
Yeah, I know it's sometimes difficult because you can't find the delete button. The best thing to do, is just ignore it. I've done it myself. I wasn't paying attention, and of course, I just set save, so the meeting started up, and of course, I got the wrong time on it. And it's like, how do I go in? And in the end, the simplest way, it was like, just ignore it. It'll go away, etc., etc. So if is everybody okay in scheduling? Then we won't do that, right?
No.
Sorry.
Can you? I can't do it.
Groovy. Okay, right. Let me just. So, okay. I'll share my screen. And screen 2. So, there's various ways you can do it. If you've got Outlook, it will have an add-on, which means it will allow you to do it anyway. So I will create a couple of meetings. So you can see start instant meeting, schedule a meeting. Yeah. Click on that. And it will go into the scheduling thing. Now, this is just a shortcut. So if I go save, it gets all the links, does all that. So then you can then change it. So I will create a meeting and I will call it forums. No, I'll call it ICT meetings. Yeah. Now I need to talk to Julie about the next one for you. So I will have looked on her, and I know she's free tomorrow. I don't. And I'll say, we'll do it in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. Yeah. It won't be an half. I'll leave it as an hour. It's not going to be an hour, but okay. And if I then press send, now I can change this. Julie.
We need one anyway, don't we, Colin? So
let's meet.
Set one up for real.
So let's meet. Yeah. There we go, Colin. Now that sends it off and it will appear no recipients' names. That's because, I'm an idiot. Cancelled it. So what I should have done is put in Julie's name, typed in and sent it. If you haven't got Outlook, very simple. Okay, meetings. You've got this there. Yeah, I've just minimized it, but that's what it looks like. Yeah. So if I go into meetings, you can see what's upcoming meeting. There you go. Home, I want to schedule. There we are, Colin Williamson. So ICT meeting. I want to do it tomorrow on the 10th. You free it for 3 o'clock, Ju? Yeah, you can see all that is. Save. Scheduling the meeting. Now, because it knows I've got my Outlook, it automatically has come from like that. In essence, what you're doing is just, that's the bit it generates automatically. So if I go Julie, Taylor, make it properly informal. Colin, how about a quickie? Colin. And that's gone off on its merry way. Julie will get, you can see that it will automatically put it in my diary. With the instructions. If you haven't got any of this, it is just a matter of, as I say, you can schedule a meeting, advanced options, again, all this, that, and the other. But what you're looking for is to save those details. Yeah. It should give you the option to save. Yeah, trouble is because it knows I've got this, it will automatically schedule it. If you haven't got it, it will go, when you schedule it, there'll be a little bit at the bottom and it will say copy link. Yeah. You press that copy link and that generated link that you press on, you then just write your normal email, paste that link in and away it goes. So it doesn't matter if you haven't got Outlook. Yeah.
If you go to meetings now, you should be able to see that meeting at the top.
Should be, where are we? Meetings.
If you go to meetings, anything that you've scheduled should be down there.
Yeah.
Just
if you
down.
have scheduled, this is where you go delete. You can't, it tells you you can recover this within 7 days, delete.
Also shows the invitation details there that you can pick up and copy and send to
Copy
somebody.
invitation. So then if I opened up my email thing, create a new email, which is what you do. Paste it, amend it, click in to whoever, and away you go. Is that okay? Showing you?
This is good, Colin. I'm with this, and whether Maureen you are. I haven't got Outlook. I use Google, so I click on the Google Calendar. But my colleague hasn't got the images. You know, you actually saw the nice little icon boxes, schedule and all sorts, join. She hasn't got that on her Zoom at all for some reason. I'm thinking, well, she has to go through her browser all the time. I said, well, just download the app, and you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she hasn't got. What we've got really. That screen there.
Yeah, she needs to download the app, the client software. I mean, that's what Outlook is. It's exactly the same thing. It's called client software. It sits on your computer and does a few things as a shortcut, but ultimately it's relying on the internet to do all those sort of things. So yeah, best thing to do is download the app and help us, you know, to do that, because it won't have as many things if you're just doing it through the browser. It's great because it means if your computer not very savvy, you can still access it. You point and click and it just goes woohoo, you know. So I think that's a good point about it. But if you want to get more out of it, you've really got to download the stuff. Is that okay for scheduling? You're okay on that? Has that cleared it up slightly?
Don't forget you only get the 40 minutes on the free basic account. If you get the Pro Zoom, you get more.
But if you're to one-to-one, the 40 minutes only applies if you've got 3 people or more. So if you're one-to-one, you can bore each other to death forever. So like when I'm arranging a meeting with just one person, me and Janet, yeah, you know, she can be edging away from the screen. I've really got to go for hours before as I'm going here, there. So there is, you know, it's just a matter of planning. And there's nothing to stop you setting up more than one. So the backup for is if we weren't getting it is, well, actually, you just go back to that link, yeah, click on the link, and it would have started the meeting again. So yes, you have to pause every 40 minutes, but you might use that creatively and go, right, we'll be stopping after 40 minutes. That gives people time for a comfort break. So then you've got another 40 minutes after that. And let's face it, if the meeting's going on longer than that, then there's something wrong with the meeting, you know.
Well, but by sheer fluke last night, I didn't realise it. I normally schedule another meeting at a certain time after the first meeting's finished. And I didn't realise you could just click on the link and continue.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. So I've sent out 2 invitations for 45 minutes each for people.
That's fine. Yeah. You know, whatever works. What time is it? Are people okay? It's how long have we done? Have we done an hour already? I'm okay. I'm wondering. I was going to mention contacts, and then
Just a clarification, Colin.
yeah.
Those people that are actually in the meeting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've lost thread of it. I'll come back to you in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, it gives me an opportunity just to.
Yeah, we're an hour and 15, Colin.
I'm quite happy this is why it's always good. I always try and get my little.
Oh, right.
My wife bought me
I got my thread, Colin.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
people who want to just say extend a meeting, it says the host has extended the meeting.
Yeah.
Which happens sometimes when I'm in a meeting.
Yeah.
The meeting doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And we don't normally go to the same link and come back. So how can that happen? Can
if you've got you can extend it if you're the host.
You can extend if you're the host, even if you're not on a pro.
No. I think if you're not on the pro, you've got to log in and log out again.
Okay. So there's no other way. Log in and log out on the same link. Which is,
you can do that.
I mean, yesterday I had three lots of logins and logouts. So 3 40-minute meetings.
Well, I mean, what you can do is, looking at this, you've got your contacts. Now, your contacts are people in your address book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I go down here, you can see all the people who are on my contact address book. And that's the starred ones, which I'm using for the internal ones. There are a few external ones, which everyone is, but there's a few extra. Now, you can do all sorts of things. You can see, so if you look at Sarah, you can tell that she's online on Zoom with her computer. The Sarah above her is online with Zoom, but that little square means she's probably got it on her phone. It's conscious on its phone. If it's grey, it means they're not accessing Zoom. So Julie, who's obviously here, is not using her account. That's why she's grayed out. She's on the pro account. Yeah. So what can I do? So what I can do with this is chat to Julie, which is fairly normal, just another way of sending a text message. Invite to meeting. She's not available, obviously, because she's logged in this account. More, click on that. Notify me when available. Now, and you can see I did one earlier, just to show you. It's actually pointed out Lighton is now available for chat if I wanted to. So it will tell you. So if you leave Zoom running in the background, eventually, when this is all done and we log out, I'll get a thing in from Julie saying, here we go. Again, now this is really naff. Again, you see the little plus icon? Add a contact, create a group, create a channel, or join a channel. Add a contact. I add an email address. Anybody want to give me their email address?
Maureen.
Maureen.
Katie1@yahoo.co.uk.
Right, add contact. Now, this just doesn't add it. It will send an invitation to Maureen. So if she wants to, she can pick that, say yes. Now, what will that mean? That will mean that I'm on her contacts and she's on my contacts. So, for example, it would appear. So it will be Colin Williamson and she'd see there's a little green dot. Yeah. That means if she wanted to, she could just click that, invite to meeting, and I would get a do saying, do you want to have a meeting? And it's just like the phone. Yeah. If I'm busy, I'd be going, oh, I can't answer that. Okay. And you just press decline. Maureen will go, oh, probably busy, I'll try later. But I will know Maureen will have done a video call, and I'll keep it in my head. I'll finish what I was doing. Right, Maureen, bring her back. So it's just like a phone. And it's like anything else. If you delete the contacts, if you want to, mute, I can delete, block history, clear history, delete contact. So if Maureen, if you can check your email and you accept, you will appear. One of the irritating things is, and obviously that's just me, there you can see Maureen pending. If she accepts it, but it gets listed by first name rather than surname. But that is just me being a bit old fashioned, because it should be, why isn't it by surname? So, you know, but there you go. It's apart from that, it will put in there. So again, I've said to people, if you want to add me to your contacts, please do so. And you see I'm available. To me, it's the same as using the phone. Yeah, if I'm there, I'll answer. If I'm not, I'll get back to you whenever I can. Yeah. Yeah.
If we haven't got time, that's fine. As a host and as an administrator or whatever I'm doing, I'm organising some breakout rooms.
Yeah.
How do you do that with Zoom?
Ooh, lovely. Let me just turn my sound up. Okay, and sit.
If everybody wants to hear this, sorry everybody, I feel I've monopolised quite a few subject areas.
Oh. Susie's just voted again, with plus for it. No, this is actually quite a useful thing. Now you can prep these. Quick check, Kerry, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
That's okay, just checking. Sorry, it's because I tend to sort of not ignore people, but because I can only see your picture. But I just wanted to.
Okay.
Are you having okay? Are you okay? Is there anything you want to add or anything like that? Just shout up, okay?
No, it's good just watching and seeing what's going on.
No, that's great. Okay, so right, breakout rooms. So there you go. You've got your breakout rooms. Click. Let me just check. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Yeah, okay. Click on it. How many breakout rooms do I want? I can go.
Sorry, Colin, where did you click to get to that?
Okay, let me go back again.
I haven't got the breakout room icon at all.
Are you the host? You're not.
No.
If you are the host, you'll see this, right? And we can, again, if you want to practice this, you ring me up and then you can be a host and we can go through it. Click on the breakout room. You'll see it down here, just that little 4 box. How many breakout rooms do you want? I'm going to say 2. Assign automatically. Let manual, people choose manual, or let participants. For the first one, it says 3 participants per room. And I go create. So it's randomly done it. Yeah. Now that's great. But you could have let people choose it. So if I go like that, I'll do it again. Open all rooms. And what you can do is move to an exchange. So for example, I know Janet and Maureen don't get on. Let's move her to room 1, you know, stroppy. Open all rooms, away we go. Now you've been invited to join the breakout room. If you press it, you'll go into it, and then you can you'll sort of disappear, and away you go. So join room 1, yeah. So now we're in a breakout room. And you can see it's just, yeah. Now at the bottom right hand or ish, you should see a blue button which says leave room. Yeah. So with rooms, you can set times, etc. You can set limits. So wait for everybody to get back. If I join.
So Colin as host can pick and choose. He can go into any of the rooms. So he's just gone in to see where the other person is, I think.
Just got to switch something off. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.